So let me put this back on the screen here, and let me show with you some of the comments. And for every one you see on the screen, I probably heard 5 or 10 people say it. All right? For example, some guru said ASM was a high-price scam. Okay? So don't buy ASM. Buy us. You don't need ASM to be successful. You need us. Now you say, okay, if Jason, that's the case, it doesn't make sense. Why are you selling this only when ASM is available and only when ASM is launched and only through ASM can we get your stuff? Why can't we buy it on its own? Now I will tell you, and this is very, very important to me. The first time ASM was ever offered was the first time I decided to try Amazon. So I feel like at the very least, I owe that to them. If somebody turns you on to something and completely revolutions your life, personal and business and otherwise, don't you feel it makes sense to become aligned with them and to champion their cause and to support them and be on top of that and be consistent? Okay. So that's the first thing, is these guys turned me on to this stuff. Now it could be said that we went completely insane with it and went way over the top with it in terms of all the extra resources we gave to our customers, because they first turned me on. I got so excited. I told my initial small audience of customers to join me, and a lot of them did. Most of them didn't, but a lot of them did, and they became very successful. And now here's the thing. The first time I ever offered this, the first time I ever offered anything related to Amazon was through ASM, and I specifically said, for better or worse, for whatever it is, I specifically said, the only time you will ever get us is through this. The only time you'll ever get us is through this. And I'm old-fashioned. I'm just an old-school, small-town Iowa boy. And when I say that, I mean it. And isn't it kind of interesting that other people who used to promote ASM now sell against ASM? And here's usually what they do. I got my own course. Buy my stuff instead. Well, first of all, you would not even be on Amazon if it wasn't for ASM. And second of all, show us your results. Not your personal results, because any individual can do good results. Show us your customers' personal results. Show us your track record, okay? Show us your understanding. Pre-sale. Show us what you know about Amazon before you ever ask us to invest with you, okay? But isn't it even scarier? Do you really want to follow somebody who's inconsistent, who this month tells you it's this way, and the next month says, no, I changed my mind, it's that way. And then the month after that, they say, no, I changed my mind again, it's that way. Or do you want to follow somebody who's consistently working the same plan and incrementally every single day, consistently making improvements on it? If you improve 1% a day for a whole year, how damn good are you? I'm sorry, I'm getting lightheaded here because I'm getting so jacked up and so passionate, so adrenaline. So let me get my bearings here for a second. Woo! But if you get 1% better every single day for the next year, how damn good are you going to be? That's what we've done here. We've consistently taken the approach and refined it and refined it and refined it and improved upon it and improved upon it and improved on it, because I'm always a long-term guy. My goal is to take the longest term myself so I can provide the greatest short-term, quickest results for my customers that also continue to work in the long term, right? My job is to figure out how to make it as easy as for you as possible. And that makes my job a lot harder up front, but in the long run, it makes it easier because you can't compare what we have available versus what everybody else has available. And here's the other side of the coin too. Think about this for a second. As much as I love selling this stuff, and I do, and I feel obligated to because I believe it's that life-changing, I want to just sell it to you. Christiana, that's Will's wife, she's got $1 million Amazon business this year. We sold it to the loved ones. We sell it to family members. We sell it to anybody who has one characteristic and one characteristic only, desire. I mean, if you don't really want to do the work, it's not a lot of work, but it's some work, right? If you don't want to do the work, I can't help you. Can't lead a horse to water and make them drink. You can only lead them to water. But as long as you have the desire, that's the only qualification on your part. We've got the rest of us taken care of for you. Okay? And I don't care who you are or where you are or what you're doing or what your current situation is. If you have the desire, and the desire is simple. Do I want to become wealthy? That's part one. Part two is this. Given the information available to me, is it worth the effort involved? And I've given you a lot of really good information about how simple it is. Find a product opportunity, and we have the bonuses and resources to automate that basically for you, right? Private label it, which is the last training that I showed you, where we simply find on the internet In less than 21 days, very often, we can sell private labeled versions of stuff just like that, right? Get it on Amazon and list it correctly. And many of the resources, such as the viral app, such as the automatic keywords, such as Ben Cummings trainings on how to list products and immediately make them bestsellers, that kind of stuff, right? We got you covered. That's part number 3. Part number 4 is the automatic exposure. And that's pretty much everything that I'm built in my business around, is once you list it, proliferating it. So Amazon says, whoa, we want to continue exposing this because we got the proper data that says this one's a hit. So out of our 200 million customers that are on file with a credit card who can one-click purchase, who should we put it in front of? And there's no opportunity anywhere else that even comes close to that, okay? I mean, I got this goofy stuff over here. I got everything from an unbranded water bottle. So you order a sample from a supplier, says, I want to sell a stainless steel water bottle. It's as simple as private labeling as putting your label right here. That's it. Having the manufacturer from China or wherever, send it over to Amazon. Done. And here's what's great. There's stainless steel water bottles. There's also kids' water bottles. BPA free is an extra keyword phrase you could target there, okay? And there's 100 variations of people selling water bottles on Amazon who are all doing 6 figures a year. You can start very simple. This legitimately could be your first product, something along these lines. Your whole inventory order fits in one box. One box. How expensive do you think this is to private label, to wholesale? To send either directly to you to inspect before you pass it on to Amazon, which you don't need to, or send it directly to Amazon. These are travel sewing kits, right? They're really cool too. You open them up and it's got the needle and the thread and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people who sell this kind of stuff because the sewing market is massive and do very well on Amazon. But again, you say, Jason, I only got a little bit to start. Okay, start with a product like this. There's thousands of them where the whole thing fits in a box like this. And I can lift this with a pinky almost. So let's look at some more of these questions along these lines. Let me flip this back over to you. I'm not making this stuff up. These are actual things that people are writing in and telling.